Oh, if whatever you want. Let's go for it. Hi everybody. Hi, look, it's Gillian. Amazing to see you. And I already said it to Gillian, but look at the sweater. You guys, oh my gosh. I love it. I love sweater season. It's wonderful. Have you had a nice Thanksgiving? You live in London, so do you celebrate Thanksgiving still in London?
Sometimes I celebrate it in London, but I was actually in Michigan with family, this last few days, so had a good Thanksgiving. You guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah. We're gonna go back. We're thankful, right? I know it's very bright, right?
Yeah.
I know. I feel like I'm being interrogated. Maybe on brand here. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Of course, I want to talk about the X-Files. I used to watch the show with my mum. She was so into sci-fi and she absolutely loved it. So we watched that together. But you were so young when you got cast. You were 24, is that correct? But they didn't know you were 24. And was that's a choice because, was it?
I lied.
Yeah, you lied.
It's my choice because I lied. I think I just thought that there was no way that I was going to be cast as, someone like Scully if I was just 24 years old, so I said I was 27.
Were you quite scared when not scared, but I guess had a little bit of fear when you first started that job because of your youth? Because I suppose it could be quite intimidating to sort of sit on that set and, it's quite...
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really done anything. I'd only done theater before, so it was really the first time. I'd done one tiny little thing, an episode or something, and so it was really, and I didn't understand anything about TV or seasons or marks or catching my light or any of the stuff that actors are meant to know. I was green, but also I think just naive, and had I been less naive, I probably would have been more scared, but I was just dumb. No, I was. I had no idea what was going on. Yeah.
But do we ever know what's going on in our 20s? I often think about that.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Does it feel like looking at an old photograph album when you look back on that time?
It looks like I'm looking at somebody else.
Yeah. Does it feel? Yeah, it must feel kind of. I guess because when you're doing conventions, especially, and with a show like The X-Files, and you've played so many other, in my opinion, very iconic characters, to go back and revisit that as an actor, how does that feel? Because I feel like you do the research, you've played the role, and you put the art out there for people to enjoy, but to go back yourself and keep looking, how does that feel for you?
Oh, I mean, when I did that, the couple of seasons that we did, I think because I played her for so long, I thought that it would be easy, and I think I found it harder than it was. I don't think I put enough thought into it initially. I thought it would just come back like riding a bicycle, and it was a lot harder than that. Because I think I tried so far in the other direction to do as many different things as possible that going back and playing her again was like, it was a bit of a shock.
Is it true that when you do jobs within the first few days, you feel like you're going to get fired?
Yeah.
Is that true? Do you still feel like that today?
Yeah, totally.
Is that an imposter syndrome thing, do you think?
I don't know if it's imposter syndrome. I just think I don't know, I don't know, I never feel like I quite know what I'm doing. And it's not until afterwards, almost maybe, when something's been successful, or when I can see it as a whole and how I fit into it, and people are responding to it, that I think, oh, I get what I was doing, and I didn't get fired. So.
we're glad you didn't. I feel like what you're experiencing is something that's, I guess, very human, but people don't think of it when you're on a stage, or think that actors might experience that because there is a mask, or you're wearing the character, so you aren't, Stella or Scully or those people. You are someone else wearing the mask. But do you take anything away from those characters and keep them for yourself? I guess, like confidence, or that kind of thing.
Sometimes, I mean, I think I'm really good at compartmentalizing, and I think I learned that, while doing a show like the X-Files, where we were working so many hours every day, and then also having a young child, and having to switch immediately, in a split second between being a mom and regurgitating monologues about everything under the planet. I think that I've gotten really good at, a long time ago, at knowing how to be in different places in a split second and put my mind, I'm not, I'm stressed about that, but I'm not going to think about it until next Tuesday, and I can do that.
Yes.
And so, I can't remember what the original question was, but
Taking character.
yeah. But I think that part of it too is, and also, doing something like I did Streetcar, which is a really intense, and it was a very, very intense production. And, still waking up in the morning and doing the school run with a couple of kids that are climbing all over your head in bed the next morning when you've just, been dragged off to the insane asylum for 2 shows the day before. So it's, I think, I think I've learned how to just put stuff somewhere else.
Yeah, you have to, or you go bloody mad.
And you don't want to show it because Margaret Thatcher in bed with your partner, so you find ways places to stick that shit.
Kind of almost want to be a fly in the wall for that. That would be, or not. No, I'm shaming. I'm going back to the X-Files again, and just your other roles as well. Like, just at that time in the 90s and how big that show was. How did you, I guess, compartmentalize or cope with the fame of that? We didn't have social media back then, thankfully.
God.
I know.
Seriously.
Well, how do you think that would have been even more pressure for you with the social?
Yeah, I mean, hell. I don't know how young people in the public eye are dealing with it, or want to be in the public eye in the face of it. But one of the reasons why I think we stayed as sane as we did was because we were shooting in Vancouver, and we also didn't have to contend with, for a long time when we were in Los Angeles, I couldn't take my daughter to the park, because I'd be surrounded by paparazzi. Or to the grocery store, and that used to happen. I used to be followed and chased, or rear-ended, and
Oh my God.
just for my reaction and stuff like that. So that was in LA. We didn't really have that when we were shooting up in Vancouver. So I feel like I owe a lot of my sanity back then. One, to having a daughter, which on one hand, added to the stress level, but also I think it kept me really grounded. But the other thing was shooting up in Vancouver, we didn't have the kind of, we didn't have TNT up there.
How did your...
What was that laugh?
Could you that little wee laugh in the back? What do your kids think of what their mom does? Like, have they ever been, or are they tempted, or are they in?
Oh God, no, they're not tempted. They don't really pay much attention to it. I mean, But my daughter's a lot older than my two sons, and you know, she grew up on sets, and so she, you know, was immersed in it. And it's, you know, it's hard being the child of a famous person. So there's that, and my sons haven't really had the same kind of exposure, and I don't think they really know, even though they're, you know, mid to late teens, they don't care, and it's just, you know, it's a pain in the ass when people come and bother us at restaurants, or people stare, and that's about the extent of their interaction with it, is just thinking of it as a pain. And, you know, I'm sure they're proud of me. They can't, there's this thing in the UK called Madame Tussauds, where they make wax figures of people, and there was recently one made of me, and we did the whole thing where I forced them to come with me to see it for the first time, and that was really special. But most of the time, they're very, very separate from this crazy thing that I do.
What is it like genuinely looking at a wax version of yourself? Does it feel weird?
It's so weird. What's weird is that it looked absolutely nothing like me and exactly like me at the same time. It was really strange. They do something with the pupils, where the pupils are actually identical to the distance of your pupils or something, and this was explained to me because I kept standing right in front of it and saying, "Oh my God, like that is nuts!" It almost felt like when I, it might only be for me, but when I stood immediately in front of her, that it was suddenly like looking at my own. Yeah, it was creepy. But then from the side, it was kind of like, no, it's nothing like me at all. But then in front, it almost took my breath away.
Oh, it's so strange.
Yeah, it was really strange.
It's kind of strange to feel that thousands of people are standing next to your wax person.
Oh, I haven't even thought about that yet.
Like, well, there's nothing.
I haven't thought about that, but her skin was so young. She had such young, taut skin.
As an introvert, I like the idea of taking that wax figure one day and like just using that instead of making any appearance in public. It's like, this is...
That's actually a really good fucking idea.
Do you consider yourself
Some sort of Comic-Cons.
and just somebody pushes their arms through with their arm like this, doing the signings, and just like a recorded voice, yes, thank you, goodbye. Want to see it. So coming to a Comic-Con near you, Gillian and Wax. Do you consider yourself an introvert, would you say?
Complete introvert.
Yeah, it's absolute same. What do you do when you're done with work in the cons, and what's your decompression time look like?
Just alone, not talking to anybody. Working usually. Getting on my computer, working until late, getting up early, working early. I like a hot bath in the evening.
I like starfishing. Sort of being on bed and just, you know, yeah, like a child. Like a giant middle-aged blob. Just on bed. Because I think people, or maybe people don't assume, but somebody said to me once, "You must love attention." And I was like, no, it's my job. I don't mind if people are looking at you if it's a job, but I'm in the kitchen at a party, in a corner, super uncomfortable. Where can we find you at a party? Are you a kitchen person?
Well, firstly, I don't go to parties.
She's a true introvert.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a hermit, but no matter where I am, I always find a corner and like I call it my elsewhere. And it's usually, if I'm on a set, I'm tucked somewhere where people can't find me, in a dark corner somewhere, back there somewhere. Yeah, I'm not good at small talk.
No, I like to get, I said this to somebody yesterday, I like to get my fingers under the skin fast, like I don't do the whole, what does that mean? I know it sounds really creepy, I'm not a murderer, it's not as creepy as it sounds, but I quite, when I'm talking to people, I can't do that whole, so how's work been, whole, like I want to just start talking.
Right.
I would rather have the conversation.
Right.
Or just not have a conversation at all.
Yeah.
I cannot do the small talk.
Yeah.
Like the brain germ will start, kind of, they call brain germ, they start moving away, kind of thing. So I prefer getting the fingers under the skin. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, it does.
Did I sound weird?
Kind of creepy, but I understand what you mean.
Thank you, and it's also still creepy, I get it. I wanted to ask you about storytelling in general because I feel like there are so many different forms of storytelling, and you've just released a book called Want. Has anybody read it yet? No? No? Okay, you gotta go get it. It's very good. But
Person.
go get it, it's great. What made you, tell us a little bit more about Want, or what made you decide to tell that story?
So Want is a collection of anonymous sexual fantasies from women around the world. And there was a book in the 70s called My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday. That was a big hit back then, and you know that was right at the end of or in the midst of the sexual revolution. And so when somebody, I think it was my book agent, approached me and said that because I had done sex education, she had actually been approached on numerous occasions by publishers interested in me doing a book either about sex or talking to sex therapists or as a sex therapist or something which didn't make sense to me, but or for me as an actor. But then she suggested that if I were to do a modern day version of My Secret Garden, that just a collection of letters from women to put a call out. And suddenly I thought, you know what, that's actually really interesting, because that would make sense, that it would make sense that I might do something like that, because that would actually really, one, it would really interest me, but two, I too wonder what has changed since the 70s in terms of, the degree to which, the amount that, women are objectified and sexualized, and the amount that it is a part of our everyday, whether it's billboards or the porn industry or whatever it is, and whether anything had changed in terms of the internal lives of women and their own deepest, darkest thoughts and desires. And so, we took the idea out to some publishers and went with Bloomsbury in the UK. And Abrams in the US, and so we published that last year, and it's done really well. It's been on the Sunday Times bestseller list for like 21 weeks or something like that in the UK. And so it's it's been extraordinary. It's been a real journey, both talking about it, but talking to women and also talking to women journalists about it. It's been really interesting from the moment I announced it. It's been a fantastic conversation to have, and it's really had a big impact on people, on women and on men, because there are some things to learn about, turns out.
Yes, it's very good, you guys, and congratulations with the success. Does the success of that book kind of feel the same or different as success or accolades for your acting? as well, or is it slightly different?
I think it's very, very different. I mean, the book doesn't feel like it's my book, even though I wrote the introductions. It feels very much like it belongs to every woman. It belongs to all the women who wrote in and everyone who's embraced it, that it's made an impact on their lives, on their sense of self or self-confidence, or feeling like they're seen or heard for the first time or understood. And so it's yeah, it feels like the accolades around it are really are for everyone. Yeah.
You know, I like that you released this book and told these stories, and I love the characters that you choose as well. You always make very bold choices, I think, and I think it's really important to make bold choices and lean into those. So thank you very much, and that's why we're sitting here today, right? Because you've enjoyed those roles from like. And it's like an incredible honor to be sitting with you, so thank you.
Thank you. Great question. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, not my first rodeo. I wanted to hand over to you though, Gillian, because you want to do, this is a special thing, I've never done this in a panel, a charity auction.
Yeah, I've done it a few times before, and I just want to see whether it's something that anybody's interested in. There's a couple charities that I do most of the most amount of work I do for. One is War Child, and the other is Say Yes, which is a charity that I started with a friend of mine 17 years ago. We started it in South Africa, and it's a mentor-mentee charity that's been very successful in the different regions, and it was rolled out in the UK just a few years ago, and we've had a lot of people signing up to be mentors to youth who are either leaving the care system or have been marginalized in some way in society, and it's a really fantastic way to be of service and to give a little bit of oneself, but also has had huge impact on hundreds of kids. And so anyway, but we're really struggling at the minute. We had a big funding that came in the UK a couple of years ago through the government. Actually, had come in and supplied us not only with interaction with potential mentors, etc., but also with funds. And we just recently lost that funding, and so we're scrambling to try and keep it alive. And so I thought I brought some T-shirts with me, which haven't really seen the light of day over here, and they were actually my daughter, and for my drinks brand, which you also might not know about. You sound crazy. But I have a functional drinks brand that is for sale in the UK and is doing very well. But you can also buy it in the States. I don't send it to California, unfortunately, but they do. You can buy it in New York. You can buy it online. But anyways, these are these T-shirts, and there's only a limited edition of them, and they come in 4 colors, and they have different pictures on the back. And my daughter did these. Anyway, so I was gonna auction either one or more than one.
Shall I stand and not model them, but shall I show them?
Only if anybody's interested, because if you're not, then I'll sell them in a different way and make more money. But I thought that I would give them a go.
And we'll use sign them if somebody?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah?
And I'll personalize them and everything. But
Perfect.
they're kind of special. And, anyway, so my drinks brand is called G Spot. Right? That's a fucking name. They're very tasty.
Who's interested in the?
They are. They're very tasty. I'm very proud of that.
You interested? Who's interested in the auction?
Okay, so I'm gonna start the t-shirts, personalized autographed t-shirts, and you can choose what color you want. Well, first come, first serve on the colors, but I'll start them at 300. Anyway, how would you like to go? Would anybody like to start with 300 on a t-shirt? All right, thank you very much.
Oh wow.
Would anybody like to go up to 4? 4, we've got 4.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, well, I'll sell 2 t-shirts.
Oh.
3 yes, 5? Yeah? You're up for 5?
Anything else? Anyone else? 5? I feel like I'm turning to go 5. 500.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
5, 500. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not seen a lot of auctions, you guys.
Okay, well, I can stick at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now I can do 3 at 5, or I can do 3 at 4, or I can do 1. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have actually done this before. That didn't make any sense.
I was staring at the side of Jill's head going, math.
We can talk about that. I can bring them to the table if you guys want to, and then you tell me what you want to do, what you're happy with, okay?
Okay.
Tell me what color you want. Anyway, thank you. For all the 3 people who are here, you tell me what you're willing to pay, and I'll give you a t-shirt and I'll sign it to you.
Gillian,
Thank you. Appreciate
thanks
it.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was delightful.
Gillian, before I end this panel, you are here tomorrow. You're doing another panel tomorrow. And I wanted to ask you, though, what is next for you? Books, there's still the acting. What is next? What excites you? Where are you going to go next? What stories do you have left to tell?
I seem to be very busy with my acting still. I mean, I'm my acting, Jesus Christ. I continue to get work, which is amazing, and so there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing, and I've got a few films and TV things coming out, and I'm doing a play next year in the UK. If you want to come and see that, I can't tell you what it is, but it'll be announced soon. And still doing my drink and producing things and yada yada. So. Yeah.
Just really. Gillian Anderson, everyone, come on.